Hi players, I'm Leon and I'm inventing games since I'm a little child. The issue only was that my parents didn't really want to play with me because the games partially took like 3 hours, way too long, way too strategic, way too complex. And my sisters didn't want to play with me because apparently I always changed the rules mid-game. The thing was, this may be true, but on the other hand, I couldn't write the rules down yet because I couldn't write yet. But this meant, on the other hand, that since the beginning, since the early days, I had to find some factors or mechanisms to really have the players have fun with my games. Because I wanted them to play again with me, I wanted to play test these games, and yeah, I just enjoyed it playing my creations with my family or friends. It was 3 factors which I kind of figured out make the most fun for the players. And also for me, obviously. First one was spontaneity, because when it's the turn of another player, I always felt, it's sometimes a little bit boring. I know you can plan your turns, but I think it's way more exciting if you can still like interrupt the turn of the other player, play a card, I don't know, have a mechanism activated so everyone is engaged even though it's not your turn. The second factor was asymmetric strategy, meaning that everyone started with different conditions, with different advantages or with different abilities in the game. And with that kind of came the third factor, which made the most fun for my co-players and for me, was to have every game feel completely different than the game before. Meaning when you have like a different corporation you can play, a different play style or strategy you want to test out, or kind of, I don't know, play a hybrid strategy, test everything out, or just to improve the strategy you played before. Every game was different and you could always test something new out for every game. And the best thing about inventing games is when you're playing your prototype, be it like in the early stages or in the late game, and then like a fairly new player is playing it for the 3rd turn, 5th turn, whatever, he's drawing a card, doing something specific, or like a co-player is doing something specific, and you see kind of his smile or her smile in the face, seeing like, okay, they kind of understood what they need to do right now, they kind of understand what mechanisms I implemented to react on this action, and then they're just smiling and you know, okay, they have like a nice turn in mind right now and they're about to play this. This is like a super nice feeling. Second nice feeling is why I love inventing games is after the game when the discussion starts. Okay, what should I have done better? Next time I'm going to play a different faction. Next time I'm going to play a different play style with this faction, or just players saying, Leon, let's play it again. This is like pure joy for me. I love that. And then also with time, especially with Mad Max, there came like a different component because I'm actually like playtesting and developing it since 2019. We have like more than 150 playtests, and like in the second half of these playtests, my co-players, because we played it so much, they actually started to co-creating it with me. So after games, we really said like, Leon, like, I don't know if you have this on your mind, but I think you should balance the Explorer faction, for example. You should balance the card draw mechanisms. And then we kind of started to balance it together and at some point also create new factions, new cards, new mechanisms. And one big part was also to strip the rules down to a bare minimum. So it's as playable and as understandable for new players as possible. And doing this co-creation became like an absolute favorite part of inventing games because it's just such a shared joy, and that's why I love inventing games. And then at some point I said, okay, I now invented over 100 games. A couple of them really made it to like a kind of finished look, like with fixed rules, players having really fun with them. And then the last creation is Mad Max. It's a working title, no worries, I know. I will maybe get some struggles with a trademark and copyright. But I said, okay, I want to take this professional. I want to have it designed because again, this is only Canva. I want to have it like properly developed and designed since a friend of mine who was actually drafted in the South Korean military service, they had nothing to do in the military camp. and we always played the game back home in Germany. And then at some day he said like, okay Leon, the only thing I can do here is play the bass or play board games or card games. Why can't you send me a prototype of this, or at least a print and play version, so we can print it out and play it in South Korea? And at that point I said, okay, when I have a person across the world telling me like, Leon, it was so much fun, send me the game, I want to play it, then I said like, okay, I think then I should try it maybe with Kickstarter and get Mad Max, again working title, published and designed. That's the first step here.